I hadn't spoke to my mum for around a year. So this was back in 2020. I had a massive argument with my family. I ended up packing my bags, leaving the home, getting an Uber back to the apartment I was living in with the girl that I was with. And I blocked my entire family on everything. And for the next like 9 to 10 months, I just lived like a degenerate with this girl that I didn't even like. I was smoking weed every day. I was trying like business model after business model. And then on this day, I had finally spoke to my mom again, like I unblocked her and spoke to her, and then we said we would call. I pressed the video call button. It rings, it rings, it rings, and my mom picks up. We look at each other for like a second and both of us just start crying. We literally just start crying immediately for like 30, 40 seconds. Neither of us says anything. We're just staring at each other whilst like whimpering. One of the saddest things is when I'm looking at her, like she literally looks older. There's more silver hairs on her head. And we start speaking more about, what's happened in the last year that I've literally not spoke to my family. My brother's getting married. I literally didn't even know that he was like seeing someone and he's getting fucking married. And I get so sad by the thought, the phrase I'm saying in my mind, which is, life moves on. I was in this like depressive rut for the last year, but life moves on. People still have to live their lives. And, I just felt like guilty and everything. And I started opening up, and I just admitted that I was depressed and that I didn't know what to do with my life. I had graduated from university and I was just like applying for jobs and trying businesses. I had no idea which path I should take. And, at this point, we're kind of more like cheerful. And my mom says like, oh, don't worry, you'll figure it out. And I started getting pissed off because I was like, that's like, there was no help. I would have loved a bit of support, some guidance, some insights. But it was just kind of like, like a mother's love is like, it's not usually helpful in this kind of masculine moment of needing to decide what to do in your life. So I almost like, I started to explain myself more. She didn't get me. So I just kind of smiled, pretended to feel better. And then we ended up like, leaving the call. Nothing really changed. I was still depressed. And I left that call that day realizing like no one's coming to save you. Once you become like an adult, even your mommy's not coming to save you. You might have like, some safety nets. You can move back to your parents' home, whatever. But no one's really coming to fix your problems for you. You as a young man have to take life by the horns to figure out the direction that you need to go, which is often the cause of a lot of depression for young guys. It's usually like just feeling nihilistic and sad with life, not knowing which path to take to achieve some kind of fulfillment. Life just feels very empty, dark and gray and pointless. And those are the symptoms of depression. So I want to explain depression to you in a different way than what you'll see online, where people will say like, oh, it's some like biological thing. I think depression is a lot more psychological. And here's how I would explain depression. It is a reset of your ability and motivation. When we get depressed, we have lost our ability to do as much in the day as we used to. That's why a lot of people who are depressed, for example, skip brushing their teeth or showering or even cleaning their place up, because it just feels like you don't have that capability. And I believe the reason why men get depressed, the most common reason, is just a lack of direction in life. Or if you feel like you've got direction, you also kind of know it's the wrong direction. When we don't see the light at the end of the tunnel, that's when you're just in a dark fucking tunnel. It's just darkness. Like, what more could describe depression rather than like a dark tunnel where you don't see a way out? It's just darkness, it's bleak, it's gray, there's no hope, there's no future to build towards. The amount of guys who've got symptoms of depression when they turn about 18 or 21 years old, when they're thrust out into the real world and they're not knowing like what to do with their life, is huge. That's why, as a side note, we will cover depression today in this module, but we also have the full work guide inside of Adonis School. Go through that, because what we cover in there, like the concept of focusing on 1 or 2 skills that you can master, will basically reverse depression and completely destroy it, because it will give you the light at the end of the tunnel, the thing that you can climb up in. You need to have some things that you can make progress in that will improve your life and get you healthier and higher status and money and satisfaction and fulfillment. The people who don't have this, who don't see a way out, who basically only see like shit careers, who don't believe that they could make it in like business or the career that they actually want, or they just can't even think of the thing that they want to do. They're the ones who get depressed because they don't like their lives right now and they don't see a way out of it because they're not building anything for the future. So the short explanation of depression, it's when we don't see that life can get better because we don't have a path, we don't have direction. Along with that, I also believe depression is a lack of motivation, which I believe comes from bad habits like frying your dopamine receptors with shit modern day habits like scrolling on TikTok, short form content, watching porn, eating junk food, just dopamine stimulation just constantly. And also just poor health in general, like not getting sunlight, not exercising, not eating clean, whatever. These are the three things I personally believe cause depression. It's the lack of direction, it's the fried dopamine receptors, and it's the bad health. These three things you can literally fix within a few days. People live with depression for years. I cure them of that depression in just days when they follow my advice. I sound like a massive dickhead saying that. You follow my advice for about 3 to 10 days and you'll be cured of your depression. If you're watching this and you're depressed right now, put your trust in me. You've already paid for my program, so there's no other like thing that I'm trying to get out with you. We will cure your depression in about 3 to 10 days. I'm not bullshitting. I have now seen this with hundreds of guys I've personally helped, and thousands, maybe even tens, maybe even hundreds of thousands of guys that have followed my mental health videos. It's actually remarkably easy to cure depression. So easy if you just do the right thing. We just need to reverse these three things: lack of direction, fried dopamine receptors, and bad health. If you just reverse these for the next few days, your depression will be gone, and as long as you keep up the same habits, you'll never get depressed again. It's that simple. I might sound arrogant as fuck, but I'm telling you, if you literally just follow along with this module and take some action in real life, you'll be like a fucking advocate for me saying, oh yeah, Hamza fixed my depression faster than all the fucking bullshit, therapists, antidepressants, all this weird shit that you tried. My little weird fucking video here is going to help you faster than that. So here is how to cure depression. Step number 1, go through the mental health roadmap. It's the first module or the second module inside of this full health guide. So if you haven't already, make sure you go through that because it's the fastest way to make progress. It's super streamlined with literal step-by-step points. So go through that, go and at least get your first scores and try and take some of the action that are in those steps. Now we'll talk deeper about reversing those three things. Lack of direction. We simply need to find direction in life. What does this look like? It looks like having some kind of pursuit that we can level up and see progress in. It's not about making money. There's lots of people who have got money but are still depressed. Money does not stop you from being depressed. Don't listen to these motherfuckers who tell you otherwise. It's not money that will stop you getting depressed. It's having growth and direction and progress in some kind of skill that then makes you money. So it's not money that we're optimizing for, it is a skill. Now, which skill should we level up and how should we do this? The full work guide that's inside of Adonis School is a complete guide on finding that skill. So after you finish this module, you can go and take that and you'll find direction in life by the guide that I've made where I walk through for hours on how to find which skill it is that you should go all in on, how to make progress in it and everything else. The second thing that causes depression that we need to reverse is fried dopamine receptors. Now, if you're watching this, you'd pretty much agree with me. Life is pretty fucking shit, right? Now, you have to agree with me that if life is really bad, we need to take some drastic action, which might sound crazy, but it actually makes sense because of how much improvement there is to make, right? So if fried dopamine receptors is one of the causes for our depression, we need to take an extreme action to solve it. Throw your shit away. Whatever it is that is causing the depression, that's frying your dopamine receptors, and you know what it fucking is. Don't bullshit yourself. If it's your games console, if it's porn, if it's scrolling on your phone, if it's watching countless fucking YouTube videos, if it's junk food or weed or drugs, whatever it is, grab that shit, throw it away, and argue with yourself to say that there was never any real fucking pleasure from that thing anyway. The reason why we get addicted to shit like scrolling or to porn or to video games or junk food is because we've brainwashed ourselves to believe that there was some kind of fulfillment and purpose and pleasure in that thing, but there really fucking isn't because that thing made you feel fucking depressed. So if it's porn, for example, literally just shrug your shoulders and be like, yeah, there's literally zero fucking value. It's not even fun to fucking watch. It's not pleasurable because my life overall is fucking worse because of it. There's zero gain from it at all. I don't even want to do it. There's no value in it. destroy any perspective that there's even a bit of like a shred of fucking fun. If we recorded you whilst you were watching porn or playing video games, your face would be like this. Like you're playing games. You're not having fun. You're not even fucking smiling whilst you do it. It's not even a fun, pleasurable thing. It's just an addiction, like trap, and we've fallen for it because we've convinced ourselves that there's some fun involved, but there's really not. The fun isn't in the stimulation and the drugs and the dopamine. The fun is in the discipline. So get rid of that shit immediately. Take drastic action. To cure my depression, I broke up with a girlfriend that I was with, and I moved from the apartment that I was in back home to my parents' home. So it was this massive change. I grabbed my beard trimmer and I fucking trimmed all my hair off. So it was a massive change. It was a big commitment. I went on my phone, I went on Instagram, and I unfollowed basically everyone on there. I deleted Snapchat. I basically started this brand new fucking life again. That's how I was able to make progress and basically cure depression within one day. I literally just made massive changes to the things that were frying my dopamine receptors. I went back home so I couldn't smoke weed. I started this new kind of personality, this identity of this guy on like a dopamine detox. So I wasn't watching porn. It's the same thing you need to do. If the thing that's fucking you up is like your games console, fucking destroy it. Literally, I know it sounds drastic and you're thinking, oh, I don't know. But it's like, you need some drastic action, right? And how much fucking time and energy and life are you losing because of this shit? If it's your phone and you're scrolling, bro, grab your phone and throw it in the fucking lake. I know it sounds crazy, oh, but I need it. But the thing is, do you really need it? Would you really fucking die? Would your life get better or worse if you threw away your phone? Think about it. You'd argue, no, it'd get worse. Really, if your screen time is like 8-10 hours a day, if you threw away your phone, there'd be, problems. There'd be headaches. Oh, my phone, I might need to buy a new one in the future. What if someone needs to message me? What if I needed to use it for some app? But even all those problems you can think of, your life would still be better overall than you and the way you use it right now. Like if you've tried to control this shit, get rid of it. If you don't want to do something drastic where you lose money, like you break the thing, unplug it and fucking give it to someone who's not going to give it back to you. Give it to like, I don't know, your fucking like your dad who lives in a different house or something. Give it to your friend and say, like, urge him and say, do not give it back to me, right? Eventually in the future, I'll get it and I'll sell it or whatever, or when I'm able to control myself. But just fucking give it away. Just give it away. It's not as crazy as it seems, right? It sounds crazy to not have a mobile phone, like a smartphone, but your life in a weird way would literally be better overall if you broke your phone or if you gave it away to someone than if you keep using it the way things are. Then you'll argue, okay, well, I won't use it the way things are, but you're a fucking addict. You're an addict. You can't just be expected to just control, like we can't put fucking heroin in, like next to a fucking crackhead and tell him, yeah, just control yourself, bro. Don't take it, bro. You don't take it. Yeah, you can have it next to you. Just control yourself. No, you wouldn't fucking do that. You'd take that addict, that crackhead, and you'd mix him in a group of good people who never ever take drugs. So he starts to feel like it's normal to not take fucking crack. You wouldn't take someone who's got an addiction to their phone and say, yeah, bro, keep your phone, it's fine. You tell them, fucking throw it away. You'll buy a new one in the future. But imagine the period of your life for 1 month, for 3 months where you don't have a phone. I guarantee that'll be the happiest period of your life as an adult so far. So even though there'll be problems like, oh man, I'm going to this new place and I don't have Google Maps, fucking look online like on your computer or go and ask people for directions, and I guarantee you'll have more fun that day needing to ask people for directions. Imagine you need your phone to buy some like food with like a QR code in a restaurant, and since you don't have it, you go up to the table of girls next to you and you're like, oh guys, I'm so sorry, as like a weird experiment I threw my phone away. Yeah, like I literally threw it away, and so I can't scan the QR code. Could you scan it and I'll just give you cash right now? Do you get what I mean? You'll go through some headache, but motherfucker, you go through headaches for like 10 hours a day on your phone anyway if your screen time is fucking crazy or if you're watching porn or anything, right? Going on a full tech detox for a while would serve you really well to take this extreme action. If you don't want to do something that extreme, okay, fine, I understand. But you still need to make some changes where you're not frying your dopamine receptors. You need to cut out all the bullshit. And here's the most important point. You cannot rationalize with yourself that a little bit is okay. If we were trying to help a crackhead and he said, oh, just give me a little bit of heroin, you tell him to fuck off? No, a little bit is still too much. You need to go clean, right? So for you, don't bullshit yourself like, oh, it's been a few days, now I deserve a cheat day. It's been a few days, now it's time to relapse. It's been a few days, I just want to, rest and play some video games. No, if you're an addict, you don't get to play a little bit. You need to change up your life so that you don't want it even slightly. So those times when you usually start like jacking off or whatever, you're going to start to replace that with the good habits, which is going to make you live like a healthy human being. And it's going to sound weird as fuck what your action step is. If you are depressed, your action step is today, literally today, to go outside of your home, go find a tree and climb it. Climb it like you're a fucking child, because you still are. We're still like children. We're still animals. We used to, as children, climb trees and wrestle. And when we'd see a puddle, we wouldn't walk around it. We'd jump over it with a sense of playfulness. And maybe sometimes, bro, sometimes we used to slip. Remember how dirty like our trainers, like our shoes used to get and our clothes used to get. And now we're scared of that. But we used to, as kids, be playful with the world. And I'm telling you, that's not supposed to stop. And as an adult, the happiest, healthiest people I know, they still act like little kids. Like they'll literally like be laughing, giggling, play fighting each other. They'll be like, just having a fun. They're playing, they're like telling jokes. They're doing goofy shit and everything. That's the way we need to live even when we're old. We never actually wanted to become like serious people. We just thought that that would get us more respect from people. But the thing is, that kind of serious fake vibe where you're stood there with like fake alpha male body language, it only gets you respect from absolute fucking retards. If you want respect from like healthy people who are like successful and happy themselves, you'll get respect if you're acting like, like a playful, happy child. Not the version of you that's trying to like mog and like look really attractive and confident, but the version of you that's genuinely just fucking happy, that's telling jokes that you find funny, that's inviting people to the little friendship group. So you need to start living like a child. Climb trees, jump over puddles, make little games and challenges for yourself. Do like silly things like when you're just walking around. As a kid, you just randomly like climb up on like the fence or the brick wall or something and like balance along it. It sounds weird to say that, but I'm telling you, the healthiest, happiest adults are doing that shit. It's not supposed to stop when you're an adult. We complain that we feel depressed, but we don't do any of the things that actually made us feel happy as children. And we complain like, oh yeah, the magic of the world is gone, because you've been told and you've been beaten and scrutinized through high school to basically act normal and to not be playful anymore. It was those years in high school where when kids started to hit puberty, the kids who were still playful and everything started to get almost like bullied for their level of like creative ambition, because now it was all about what song you're listening, how you're dressed, and if you're having sex or not. And we shouldn't allow that to change our fucking like play of the world. So grab your fucking pair of balls and go and do some of these like healthy things. Now, alongside that, there's like playful vibe. Increase your health as well. Eat clean. Don't eat weird fucking fake food. Get some fucking sunlight. You're sat indoors all day staring into the computer screen thinking about like Andrew Tate saying that you need to leave the fucking matrix or something, and then you're wondering why you feel depressed and anxious. Here's a quick hint for you. Anyone who's telling you shit about the matrix, about you've got to make money and all this bullshit, they're all fucking lying to you. Making money is only valuable if you've made it in like a fun and fulfilling way, which is aligned to your values, and it ain't all that. Any guy who fucks a lot of women will tell you pussy ain't all that. Any guy who's made a lot of money will tell you money ain't all that. The only people who will tell you otherwise, that yeah, pussy's amazing, bro, and money's amazing, bro, is because they're trying to sell you into buying their fucking course or program or something. You've already bought mine, so I can tell you the fucking truth. These things ain't all that. Getting pussy and money, but whilst you're slightly depressed, is fucking pointless. It's better to not have pussy or money, but to then have like a childlike, playful happiness. And then when you have that childlike, playful happiness, then zero symptoms of depression, that's when you meet a girl who's like that anyway. That's when you start just, like posting about it online, and your reels or your YouTube videos pop off and you start making money, but from that happy, productive, healthy, non-depressed way. So your action step is to first go through the full work guide, because that will help you find direction in life in the 1 or 2 skills that you should aim to master over the next 10 years. So that'll give you that sense of progress, that light at the end of the dark tunnel. The second thing is to stop frying your dopamine receptors, take some kind of extreme action to get away from that bullshit and start living a normal, healthy life. And alongside this, doing like the sort of childlike play things, like play wrestling with your girl if you've got one, or with your friends, or doing something silly like climbing a tree every day or so. And the final thing is just live a healthy life, get some sunlight, get some good exercise, stop fucking up your sleep, stop staying up late consuming content. Make sure you watch the sleep module of this full guide that we're in. The final thing I'll say to you is, When we get depressed, it's like our progressive overload, our capability and abilities in the world get reset. And so that's why we feel unable to even take a shower some days and to get ready and to do any work. And the way to get out of that rut is to respect the concept of progressive overload as you would in the gym. So in the gym, progressive overload refers to not trying to hit some crazy weight that we can't even lift, but starting at a weight we can lift and then every week increasing it by a little bit, a little bit, a little bit. That's what you need to do. If you feel depressed, you can't try to live the same kind of day as you used to by doing 10 hours of work and going to school and going to the gym. That's like trying to hit a weight that's just too heavy for you, and then you feel bad, you feel more depressed when you can't do it. Instead, you need to reset the progressive overload and basically start on the metaphorical empty barbell again. So if you feel depressed and you keep trying to get out of this rut, but you just can't meditate and journal and exercise and do all those things, you need to reset how hard it is to feel like you get to check the box of a good day. So maybe, for example, you don't try and aim for a 20-minute meditation. Maybe you aim for a 1-minute meditation. And if you do the 1 minute, you check the box and you tell yourself, yes, that's a win. I didn't even do 1 minute yesterday, so that's progress. If you tell yourself that I need to do this entire workout, but then you keep on procrastinating it, you feel bad. But if you tell yourself, okay, today I get to check the box. If I do 50 push-ups, you'll be able to do 50 literally right now in the next 2 minutes. Check the box and remind yourself, I didn't even do 50 yesterday. I didn't even do a single workout yesterday or the last week. So this is progress. That is you lifting the empty bar and then slightly increasing it till you're able to be productive all day again. Respect the progressive overload. Destroy your fucking ego, which tells you like, yeah, 1 minute of meditation is not going to do anything. I can do like 1 hour anyway. I can do like, 6 hours of deep work. No, motherfucker, if you're depressed, your ability has reset and it should take you like about a month to get back to the good level. But only a month from now if you start with that sort of progressive overload again from the beginning. It fucking sucks setting the goal to do like a 1 minute meditation knowing that you've done 1 hour before. But when you've fallen off, you have to start slow. When we're depressed, it's kind of like being injured and going back to the gym. If you try and do the weight that you used to do, you'll get injured again and you'll feel bad. It'll be scary and anxiety ridden. When you get injured and you go back to the gym, the best thing you can do is use a super, super, super light weight with a lot of intention. And then next week you can do like basically double that weight. Then the next week you can do double that weight. And then you're back to fucking the normal weight again. You can't get injured and try and still set the goal to do what you used to do just before the injury. And that's what people who have depression, they try and do. They get depressed and they still remember the days where they were productive and they did everything and they try and match that, but you aren't supposed to. You need a couple of weeks right now where your goal is literally 1 minute of meditation, 10 push-ups, reading for 5 minutes, easy shit that you can check off, because then tomorrow the goal can be 90 seconds of meditation. The day after it can be 2 minutes. The day after it can be 3 minutes, and you should be able to check these off easily. Then it's like, bro, within like a week, within 2 weeks, you're meditating for 20 minutes a day. It's like, okay, it's back to fucking normal again. But when you set the goal for 20 minutes, but on the first day of the rut, like, you're not hitting fucking 20 minutes, then you feel worse. You've got the unchecked box. You feel worse and worse and worse. Mark my words, you have to respect the progressive overload. Now, the last thing I'll say to you, if you feel depressed, there's a book that has helped me and a lot of people, and the book is called The Magic of Thinking Big by David Schwartz. Go get it on Amazon or look online. You can get like free PDFs and stuff. That's a really good book on mindset that'll give you more hope towards the future. Now, I'll see you in the next module.